Yo, what up, street talk, street gods, street vlogs, or Kim in the house? All right, some thoughts. This one is one rep maxing, either success or attempt or even failure, doesn't really matter, but the attempt is what naturally boosts your it's like a huge testosterone hormonal boost. Like, it's kind of crazy. After I either attempt a new one rep max and any of my lifts, the heightened sense of earthing is quite phenomenal. So, like, everyone wants to become quote happier, and one thing that I don't think that a lot of people think about is kind of the hormonal properties of happiness, or even thinking about the idea that, I don't know, maybe for men having more testosterone is the secret of happiness. Obviously it's not artificially injecting yourself with the juices, but yeah, to naturally boost you, eating more meat. And, you know, like, I have a theory too. It's like all the people who are like, you know, vegetarian, vegan, or, you know, plant-based, whatever, people who are unwell, this is what I've observed, is like sometimes when people are very, very sick and unwell, they tend towards vegetarian and veganism, eating more beans and stuff instead of eating red meat, and as a consequence they get sicker. So, I mean, my theory is all these people is becoming more like plant-based and not eating meat. I think it's it's bad for humanity. I mean, I think certainly, I know consuming meat is probably bad for the planet, whatever, but I mean, philosophical questions like, what's more important, the human thriving and happiness or the cool planet? I would say human happiness and thriving. But anyways, so I think if one wants to become happier, then thinking testosterone hormones is like, that's good. I mean, a simple one, right? Like, even one night poor sleep, staying up one night, could very adversely affect one's, you know, hormones, happiness, well-being, etc. And therefore, as a consequence, it seems the most intelligent mode of things and the intelligent way to approach things then is to strategize and think of ways to naturally boost your testosterone. So once again, eating more like, you know, cholesterol heavy meats like beef liver, beef heart, beef intestine, beef small intestine, etc. And the upside of all that is that you'll naturally boost your testosterone. And also one rep maxing, the Kim 1 rep max rack pull, I think it's way safer than deadlift, whether traditional or sumo. I mean, the high bar trap bar is pretty good too, but most gyms don't afford it. And actually you'll be able to pull much more with doing rack pulls. So I really don't think there's any reason to deadlift anymore. Just go for rack pulls, and you can do over 8 plates. Just what, tapped 8 plates of 5 and a 2.5. Yeah, I never, you know, hurt myself. It's like, dude, that looks horrible on your back. I'm like, there's almost like especially if you do rack pulls through your thighs, your legs, you know, using your hips. Actually, the load is not in your back at all. I think it's actually more like more your quads. If anything, like, it feels like a really, like, one should better think about it just like a really heavy leg press, I guess, because like you're doing like the thrust, like the combination of a thruster meets like a leg press machine meets a deadlift, I guess, and then also, you know, certainly your back and your traps and stuff like that, upper back, because everyone's so scared about hurting your lower back. That's why, like, anyone, I believe, finna start the muck, anybody who uses a belt or knee wraps, knee sleeves, whatever, I think it's actually a sign of cowardice. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I mean, my sense is most guys use a belt because they're afraid of quote hurting themselves. I mean, yeah, I guess that's my takeaway. And the knee wraps, knee sleeves, people are afraid of hurting their knees. Right? Just do an Atlas lift instead. Just what did I do? 9 plates, a 10 and a 2.5 for like gettily taped on top. I need to find more sustainable ways of doing this. It's funny because like I even joined a powerlifting gym recently because I thought my commercial gym was maxed out. But actually the downside of powerlifting gyms is in some ways like the equipment actually feels more fragile than like a commercial gym, because a commercial gym is supposed to withstand use and abuse. So like I'm just like using some like rando like Nautilus squat rack, and it looks like it's pretty good. Or you know, like apparently the Life Fitness hammer strength is pretty good, and also simple things too, like facilities, the toilets, the urinals typically don't clog or whatever because they're designed for high usage. So there's definitely upsides of kind of anonymous big corporate gyms rather than going to like specialty gyms, I suppose. And yeah, so yeah, good sleep, and I don't know, like my ultimate life goal, I just want humans to thrive. I'm just like, all the advice and the things I share with you is just simply advice I wish that someone could have given me when I'm 35 years old. Ever since I was like a kid, I'm like looking for the answers, right? Looking for the secrets or whatever. This is where kind of like empirical philosophy is interesting. It's just like spend more time thinking. It's like, and I think anyone with a GoPro Mini and iPad Pro, whatever camera, even iPhone SE. I have an iPhone SE right now. Like anyone could create videos or information. Just shoot 1080p, 24 FPS, super wide mode, and just record it, upload to videopress.com, or put it on YouTube, whatever's. And the point ain't to like try to monetize it, right? It's just like do it because you're kind of curious. Ultimately, much more robust is starting your own blog, your own email newsletter, self-hosted, bluehost.com, it's all wordpress.org. And yeah, I mean some other theories too, right? Like when it comes to media, the reason why a lot of powerlifters or athletes that like to listen to like super hard hip-hop or rap, I think a lot of this music actually does get your testosterone naturally. Like I was like trying to go for a one-run master and hype myself up. Like my friend Kevin says, I raw dog it, no earbuds pros with maxes in my ear, so I could just self-generate my hype. But I have at least like a dozen Kanye songs, Jay-Z song, Ski, the Happy Joint with Future, Ski mask cover my face up, Santana came from the mud. Okay, so they get you amped, or like the Lamborghini Mercy song, okay. So yeah, I think when it comes to media, music, podcasts, whatever, anything which gets your test up is good. And I was doing some random research. I'm like I'm not even I'm like so naive. I'm like, what is there, like what, how does it work and what does it do? And I was just on Wikipedia, and to my understanding, so I did some research, and apparently when one talks about quote steroids, think of it like some sort of drug, right, or thing which unnaturally boosts your testosterone. So essentially what a steroid does, it lowers your cortisol levels, I guess, like your stress hormones. You could work out more, I guess, or getting your testosterone up. So like, but what's the difference between that and just like eating more beef ribs, beef heart, beef neck bones, beef liver, beef large liver, or large liver, small intestines, organ meats, or just beef brisket. Just go to Costco Business Center, just get the cheapest beef, which is on sale, whatever. The beef, the meaty beef ribs are good too. And I think everyone wants to become more manly, right? Everyone's trying to flex on each other. It's so funny because like I think people need to be honest, is that everyone wants distinction, everyone wants to stand out in certain ways. People do it different ways. Like some people try to act more virtuous, like a good person. Some people just try to get super rich. Some people try to get the Lambo, Tesla, start a $1 billion company, whatever's. Ultimately, I think what people want is they just want to feel more dominant, you know, and at least the good thing about the local, you know, commercial gym I go to is, you know, in terms of all the unorthodox lifts I do, I'm definitely the strongest. You know, Cindy's like my goal is I want to become the BSD, the big swinging dick, right? I think from Nassim Taleb on Wall Street, this kind of analogy. And yeah, just getting your natural testosterone, and also like some ways having an audience is a good thing to do. I mean, if I could, I'd just, you know, work out topless or in a Speedo, whatever, like the bodybuilders of the past. But I guess, yeah, everyone wants to feel more dominant, and actually the hilarity is a lot of these guys who do steroids, you know, artificial, you know, stuff, it actually wrecks your hormones. Like apparently, like even in the steroids, like you become, as a man, you become infertile, like you can't even have kids anymore. That's sad. And he's like, oh, you're trying to get, you know, you get super buff and you get all the chicks and get laid. I'm like and then like, but actually the funny thing is that if you unnaturally increase your testosterone that much, it actually certainly will my theory is actually make you more unhappy, because, you know, assuming naturally producing testosterone yourself, you get a pump at gym, 1 rep max, whatever, you'll increase your happiness. But if you was always injecting yourself with something artificial, your aptitude to do that and produce that naturally is not gonna be sustainable. But anyways, some future thoughts to think about is to know that maybe testosterone is the secret to happiness.